And then position 3, we'll take it from 50 and we'll go up to sort of 65. And position 4 from 75 probably up to 85. What you're doing is you're lifting the pitch curve so you have less negative pitch at your minimum left stick point. What we're going to do now, we're going to do the stunt mode the same. We're going to make these two pitch curves identical. So if you do actually switch the idle up switch, you won't notice any difference because both of the settings should be identical. Then once you progress in your flying, you can then change your pitch curve for 3D flying, which I'm not doing just yet. So that gets rid of the devil switch, so it's not going to leap up and take your fingers off and smash your helicopter off the ceiling. Right. In hold mode, it's best to leave this a pure straight line curve, 25, 50, 75, 100. This will be used for doing all your setups later on. When we set up pitch and set up everything else, you need a straight line for your pitch curve. Okay, right. Swash mix inhibit for now because you haven't got it's set to inhibit because we're in 90 degrees, so there's no mixing involved. Revo mix you don't need at the minute. Right, let's go through. So it's a helicopter. Yes. Model name, we just call it Belt CP. Monitor, this allows you to see what's actually happening when you move the sticks. It's good for checking, like when you move the elevator, it does actually move the elevator servo, so you know what's what and everything's happening as it should. Right, reverse. Now these should all be set to normal for start. Swash type, one servo 90 degrees. Now this is just to show you, to identify the servos. Throttle cut, inhibit, we don't need it. It's not a nitro, so we don't need that. Dual rates, combi, don't need that. Timer, okay, your timer, down timer for 6 minutes. Depending on your battery size, you might alter this, but for about, I find about 12 minutes is a long time to hover when you're first starting off, and it's also a good way of not dropping the battery down to zero. The switch is set for trainer, which I find could be hit or nudged during your flying to alter the time, so we're going to change that. So select the trainer and then change to throttle cut. Now the throttle cut is a little round button, so when you start flying, just before you start to fly, press that, you fly, that sets the timer away, and when the down timer reaches zero, it'll beep and tell you to land, so you're not going to flatten your battery. So that's set to throttle cut. Power setting, European 328, read the manual for that. Contrast, copy reset, again read the manuals and you'll find out what to do with them. Okay, so we're set. Now we're going to see what happens when we switch it on. Right, so bring it in again. Motor's disconnected. I'm going to connect the battery up and power up and see what's happening if we've got the right servo to the right stick. Okay. Right, let's start first. We'll start with the elevator. So we push forward, the swash plate should drop at the front and rise. You see, now it's actually opposite. And the aileron left and right, that's working. And if we move the throttle, left stick up and down, you'll see that the pitch servo responds up and down. Right, now back to the controller. And we go through to the swash, which is on the setup. Right, swash type. Now change this from one servo to CCPM 120 degrees. Select that, yes, come out. Now, when we check the direction of all the servos and the sticks, we find that the throttle throws the swash plate all over the place rather than being up and down, so that's wrong. the aileron was reversed. We've got one that's right. The elevator, when you push forward, drops the front of the swash plate. So it's forward, down, and then when you pull back, it should raise the front, so that's correct. So we know the elevator's working as it should. The aileron, back to front. Right, so from the swash type, we want to go to reverse, and we're going to select aileron, and we're going to reverse the aileron, because we know the elevator is working, so we need to just do one at a time to see what happens. It should fix it straight up with the mixing. Okay, here we go. So now we check the direction, push forward on the stick, swash plate tilts forward to the front, left and right, aileron move left and right, so that's okay. We'll put the swash up and down, and now the throttle, yep, push the stick up, swash plate rises, pull it down, it's gone.